and welcome to Live at 7 here on CVM TV, home of the 2014 FIFA World Cup. Great to have you watching us on CVM and online at cvmtv.com. I'm Simon Crosskill. This evening, the cartel phenomenon. A day after the guilty verdict, we analyze why this case attracted so much attention, not only here in Jamaica, but abroad. You can join the discussion, chat with us on Facebook, Live at 7, CVM TV, or send a tweet to Live at 7JA. Hashtag this evening is Vybz Kartel. All right, before all of that, we should be finding out what's happening now. All right, some technical difficulties there with what's happening now. So let's move on, shall we? A day after Vybz Kartel was found guilty of murder, reaction has been coming in from various quarters. Now we at Live at 7 want to hear from you. So let's start off by going to the streets this evening to get your reaction to the verdict.
The umbre never had come my road, you see me? Because, yo, to the case they look, then a trial so long and all these things, me I say, yo, no way I see cartel, I get free.
I feel a way for the world boss in about you don't know. If you do the time, if you do the crime, you have to do the time, you see me? Yeah, so it go world boss, you see me? But a road, me that say straight. Because you don't know, in a lizard friend, them want to bang him head to you, know.
Them not really to find the man body, so they can't say the man guilty. But if them they just find it first and then them can make them determination on whether or not him guilty, yes or no.
If him do the crime, I have to pay the time still, but I'm not really surprised due to the evidence that they give out and all those things.
I kind of feel a way because I don't know a world boss already, but you do the thing, you just have to pay the time. You understand? Because if me have something and me do something, maybe just pay the time. I say go.
Yes, I felt that he was guilty.
I feel it for him because he's an entertainer and everything.
Yo, yeah, my artist, they're talented differently, but me not know star, right? It's unfortunate.
I believe someone to do the crime and not do the time, but doing the work properly, don't tamper with the thing, you know what I mean? That's how we see it.
A man action, if he's guilty, he's supposed to pay for his guiltiness. Because I mean, that's a life gone, so if he's involved, I mean, you have to face the consequences.
But you feel a way for years the boss gone still. I may even know what years back. So you don't know music already, dancehall mash up already, you see it? Because the world boss gone.
I don't think he should be any respect of the law. You do something and there is a consequences for it, he should face the consequences, that's it. And honestly, I was not surprised.
I think he would come out because I think him not guilty.
Take too long for the case done, try. Should have gone to prison a long time, should have 2 years already.
From me see even all the police, them march whatever, I say, yes, cartel, gone. Right now, I'm looking for 123 years, gone. No more cartel, and I'm saying the system change. All the man will bleach them face now, I'm telling them I'm going to know the tight pants man, then the system change. Culture music now, I want some more uplift like IAT and Chronic and them set of artists now.
Only 10 years. All right, well, on the spot with us in studio, first of all, we have the dancehall artist, Desmond Ninjaman Valentine. We have a broadcaster, disc jockey, Colin Hinds of Fame FM, and another dancehall artist, Patrick Gaynor, of course, who's one half of the duo Twins of Twins. And like most twins, his other twin is here supporting him. Despite not being on set, by the way. So let's start our discussion. We also have on the phone Donna Hope, Marquis, who's going to be helping us as well. She writes a lot of books on dancehall music and so on. Ninja Man, let me start off with you because you're no stranger to controversy in the dancehall business. But what was your reaction to the case and to the verdict?
Well, being as a man with experience and know about cases and trials and all these things, the nature of the case, it was a no-lose for the government. Mm-hmm. Because this is the first time in the history of Jamaica, Jamaican government have gone through all the technologies. Whether they have fumbles, they have misled or whatsoever, they have used them. And the American government used this method and bring all their accused to conviction. And the first time Jamaica government used that, if they didn't find Vybz Kartel guilty, they wouldn't have a police force tomorrow morning. Even the government would have get a dump for this case, because this is a history case. It's the longest case ever tried in the history of Jamaica. It started from November and never ended until March, and spent 60 days in the court on trial. 2 weeks for the judge to finish sum up the case, to turn it over to the jury. No government gonna go this hard on you, and you're gonna get away. You understand? Because they're gonna do everything. And this time the government spent excessive amount of money to bring this case to justice.
Patrick?
Well, I mean, first and foremost, we have to say, you know, right or wrong, our really go down. You know, we not gonna really be the one to say who guilty or innocent or whatever. Them decide that already, and whatever the case may be. But, you know, for we, and the mission we are pushing Ninja for years is, you know, is the selective pursuit of justice in a Jamaica as a whole, where we observe, you know, like selective pursuit of justice. Like, for example, now, I lose my son in 2007 under violent and drastic circumstances, and we never really see no stops pull out. They never left out of the station for really go make sure it's a certain thing happen when it comes down. You know what I mean? So it's like this whole classism where a lot of people put on and look away from and act like it not exists. That is like one of the biggest problems that exists in our country today. You know?
You see this as another case of that type of justice?
No, I'm just saying, Missy, let me tell you what me say happen. This whole thing is being celebrated like, oh, it's the greatest victory. I do not think this is the first case that they have sentenced somebody to prison. You understand what I say to you? So this cannot be a victory for the justice system per se as a whole. If you say, okay, Vybz Kartel, I'm sorry, I lose my voice, but Vybz Kartel gone to jail, this is a victory. No, it isn't a victory. When there exists in our society where, you know, like people from Rima can kill people from Jungle, Tivoli, Garden, or whatever for centuries, and police just go draw one chalk line and lock the big book when it's all said and done. And we don't see no real balance, because when we ask for, or when we like to see, or when it'll be a justice for the justice system, is when there is a balance, when everybody can be held accountable for crimes. People where them consider decent, law-abiding citizens of the country.
But wouldn't he normally fall under the character you speak of, who would normally get away with that crime because of money, position, celebrity, and so on? So
but you know, in this case, he would be selected as, okay, you know what happened? We're going to make an example to show that the justice system works. It's not necessarily that the system really works. It's that they want to make a point. And him would have been the perfect point, and him put himself in another position there, unfortunately, to make certain things become, you know, carry out away there.
Right. What say you, Colin?
Normally, right or wrong, whenever there is something to do with the carrying out of law or court, once a celebrity is involved, there tends to be a lot of spotlights pointed in that direction. I always felt up to the point of hearing the verdict that this was 50-50. I never thought that the case against Kartel, because of we weren't in the courthouse, so we don't know all the fine details. But I never thought it was as clear-cut, because I thought the prosecution bumbled a lot along the way. What came out yesterday, though, hearing the verdict and how quickly it was arrived at, is that the jury had made up their mind a long time ago, and it was a closed case, and the fact that they came out before the 2 hours was even up, they had made up their minds, and that was that.
All right, I want to ask you this. I'll go back down the panel. When the entertainment industry has a case like this, there is a sense that irrespective of the person's guilt, based on the conviction, there is a mood of despondency, might be a strong word, but there is an element of it's a pity. And it's not a pity that you got convicted. It's not a pity. It is a pity that someone with the wherewithal to not be in this situation, got into this situation, and has been convicted. And the industry has lost a major player. Do you have that sense, particularly being in the media that is broadcasting a lot of his music?
Well, we were discussing it just now, that it actually is a pity. You look at Kartel, his volume of work, and the measure of talent that he has, and you think of having not seemingly slipped to the dark side, how much good he could have done for dancehall, for the country, and for the culture. So amongst smart minds, it is a pity. It's a talent that, instead of focusing on the good, went a little below the surface and ended up in this very unfortunate situation. So it is, in fact, a pity. And you kind of sense that amongst industry players. Now, as to whether or not people are celebrating his demise or crying, you can't tell. You look, for example...
Oh, no, I've seen a lot of people celebrating his demise.
You look, for example, at... What was telling in this case for me was when for example, Jacure had his issues, there was a lot of sentiment put forward by the industry in his direction. Mm-hmm. In Kartel's case, you look at, for example, who turned up at the court. Not many players in the industry. And you wonder why. Part of that reason being, I think, the media had a role to do in it. Yeah. I think the media made the rest of the dancehall industry feel inferior. There's so many talented artists, so many talented artists in the business that if you keep saying to one man, well done, son, the rest of you are a set of loggerheads, then when that person is in a predicament...
He's on a pedestal, you want to see him fall off.
Yeah, well, not like you even want to want it, but you are going to be very... indifferent
Colin,
towards his downfall.
Honestly, me I tell you this. Me feel honestly, say it's not necessarily that okay because you're a spectator or you look to see him fall off or you want him to fall off. It's a case in a way of excessive pride is the undoing of men. If you really check history, that has been the downfall of most people. I think Kartel have gone a lot, like him go far enough time and him downplay the significance of other artists because he believes the hype of the media game. He believes like so much like, okay, you know what happened? The God complex, basically.
And we, the media, have downplayed too many. This is something that I rant about all the while. There are just way too many contributors to the pool of entertainment for us to have been for so long acting as if without that one person, the rest of you are idiots and this business has no value. Yeah, I think it's disrespectful to all the other artists, and we can contest it. You can go through and check certain artists. The catalog of songs that they write and the material that they've written, other people have contributed significantly. No. Kartel, though, has been an alpha male, and that's very significant talent. I don't think he deserves all the praise.
We have to forgive him for that and move on. And I say, go.
What me I say, you know, the praises that a man get are not my business, you know. But it a point to the media.
Yeah, the media.
For me, being in the music business, when the media didn't make sense. When the media used to hire people who go to university to be a journalist or to be a TV host or a radio personality. These nowadays journalists coming like, them just hire them because them have space to put some people. I can remember, no, he's a man with them not like it when me talk, you know. And when me talk, it have to just be to no bad cause when me see me talk. I can remember back in the 80s, artists used to have something to fight for. It's years now I don't see artists a fight for that. I remember when we used to fight for them on the front page of the Gleaner or the center spread because if you don't reach us, you know, name artists. You understand me? Them time there, you'd have a girl on an inquiry named Joan Fagan and a man with their Gleaner named Howard McGowan. Howard McGowan is a man where, him is the man who tell me, say, Ninja man, this pen where I have in my hand can break you and it can make you. You understand? The first time I go up on a stage at Cinema 2, when Super Dan and Louis Fraser Bennett draw me off of the stage back when I know, say, yeah, me know, you know, build for your show, you cannot perform up here, don't follow no man carry up on stage. You understand me? That's the first time I go in the front from the front of page of paper, me and Early B when them write up, Ninja Man was kicked off stage, Early B was kicked off stage with the sidekick Ninja Man last night. And the following week, Courtney Melody carry me go to Westmoreland. And when him call me out and when me done perform, Saturday night when me performed in the early if you come to Sunday morning. When me a reach in Sunday morning and me reach town and me stand up on the front of the paper, so I mean at the middle of the paper. And hear them say, we right hand on my foot, Ninja Man, the man of the moment.
And you felt you earned that publicity.
You know where you are fight for now? To be same place next week. Because you know want to move.
All right. It's funny that you mentioned that because Donna is on the line, and I wanted to ask Donna if she felt that the media, I don't want to say contributed to his downfall, but the media certainly elevated Kartel to a position where maybe he felt he was above that. And whether, as Ninja Man has just suggested, have we contributed to this problem that we're talking about now? Donna? I thought as much. It happens every time.
Well, we're seeing her.
Yeah, well, which is fine, but I'm not hearing her, which would be better. All right. When Colin was mentioning about this issue of almost dissing, which I don't know if that's strong because I'm not in the business, but dissing other artists and just focusing on this one fellow. Why, if he is not the man who is captivating the audience, he is not the man who is driving it in so many different ways with his personality, as that gentleman beside you does, why not get all the press? Why not get all the attention?
Me personally, Twin of Twins. We can't speak as a representative of Twin of Twins. Personally, we not say for we. Him isn't the man where I get the press there. Him isn't the man who deserve that press there. We not say that, We have the capacity to understand and elevate yourself above it. But we are going to say, certain man go on, you have some other people who don't have the capacity to deal with that.
No. But if you understand.
You understand how that?
Well, you must always understand. You always have a top DJ, a top singer. And that person get his recognition different from anyone else. So at all times, remember, back in the 80s, you did have Super, when the 70s, 80s, that come up, you have Super Cat, early beat, the man there. And when them was highlighted as the man them at first, when me come into the business now, it's all about Ninja Man. You understand me? So you must always know that once an artist come and reach a certain level.
Is it that he was in that light or in that role for too long?
Well, let me just repeat something that I said, which I hope hasn't. I think, and I said this earlier, that Kartel, as far as the dancehall sphere is concerned, is an alpha male. I think there are more than one. I think there are several. I think the media did not proportion accolades to everybody, and I think.
And you are saying there were others equally.
There were other people. Right. I wouldn't say equally, but there are other people who never had the spotlight. I'm not going to call any artist's name because you're not going to sing it. But right now there are people start with them name from A. Who started A? Idonia. Go down to whichever letter of the alphabet you so choose. You can list them. They are there. Their songs are there. Their songs are being played and they are present. They are in Africa with 3,000, 30,000 people walking behind them. The media, I think, to a large extent, Kartel, he's charismatic. He brought attention to himself. No. He's very talented. He had a style unlike anybody else, and he deserves some of the praise. My contention is he deserved the praise he got. He deserved the spotlight. My contention is other people deserved spotlighting. Yeah, but and they never did.
I'm going to come back to it.
And it boils down to...
I have to take a break. I'll go to a break with some lyrics that almost seem prophetic. Chop him up fine, fling him in a bush, feel rotten and stink, and swell up and pop. We'll be back in a minute.
don't think so, because we need to be informed.
No, I don't think so. They are doing their work.
They need to do something about and branch off to something different, not just debate and that. You have a whole thing in the country you can put, you know what I say? But you just stuck on that one thing right there. So the country just don't run with one person in it. A whole power there in the country.
Well, I think that the media has not gone too overboard with it. I actually believe that the media, we should have been seeing more of what is actually happening in the courtroom.
They are doing the right thing because we have to have somebody to tell us what's going on here. But things happen behind closed door. So the media hasn't gone overboard. They are doing the right thing.
It's not exactly what we were talking about, because we were talking about the media coverage given to Vybz Kartel and his music and his whole persona. But this question was about, have we gone overboard in the coverage of the murder trial? I find it incredible that some people think we have, including Tanisha. I think so. There are more important and newsworthy stories that have been omitted or condensed because of the never-ending imbuing of this particular trial. I wish the major stations were as thorough when broadcasting other news stories. That's a fair comment, but they're not mutually exclusive. This is a major story. Here's Venice. Yes, there are more important things to be broadcast. I don't know why they spend so much time on just one person. Don't care who it is. Errol says, for sure, I personally think it's gotten too much media coverage, and honestly, I don't see why it's dubbed a high-profile case. If you don't, I'm leaving you there, Errol. Beverett says yes and no. Media houses do not increase time space allotted for news. The case occupies quite a few minutes, pages at times, and this leaves very little time for a crammed synopsis of what else is occurring. I wonder what other important issue is being sacrificed just so that we get verbatim reports of the case. On the other hand, one wonders what would be news had Kartel not been in it. And Shane says, most definitely for me, it's been sensationalist in many respects and overkill. All right, just some of the comments about the media coverage of the trial, and I suspect the media coverage that's going to continue a little bit after the verdict. Now, I think we can join Donna on phone. Donna?
Yes.
Hi, I'm hearing you, and hopefully you're hearing me loud and clear.
Yes, I am.
All right. An interesting point put forward on the panel here tonight, that people had asked yesterday how come there was this lack of industry support for Kartel approaching the verdict, and part of the thinking is that A, he may have alienated others around him in the business, but B, the media coverage given to Vybz Kartel throughout his career has been disproportionate to that given to other equally good artists. Do you think so or not?
Well, I'm not sure why the industry was not supportive, but I doubt that it has anything to do with media coverage, since usually dancehall has a superstar or two superstars, and those persons get far more coverage than the other artists who are a part of the framework at any one time. So I doubt that would have been it. The industry seems to not have been, interested in being involved, or maybe being tainted by what could have, come off of this particular case, particularly since it seems less about a murder and more about the individual, the key individual involved, who is a major dancehall artist. So that's the impression I got from, what I saw on the ground, and less about alienation, or feelings about too much coverage.
What about the almost polarizing impact he has on the society in terms of the outcome of this trial? How much of that would, in terms of those who are happy to see him go away, how much of that would depend on a lyric like this? Boy, I beg fame life like kids I beg money at stoplight. Me put the Glock right in him face and bust it till him red light. Me be my backlight. No boy in a bad like me, them just act like.
Many people were not aware of some of these lyrics, because let me tell you, that even if you look at the response to some of those things that were printed today, some people is the first realizing what the lyrics are saying. A lot of the response to Kartel comes more out of the various transgressions that he has been putting through, into the society. If you look at people's comments, they are talking more about his bleaching, he's leading young people astray, in some shape or form, the tattoos, the daggering, the disrespect of the society, the fact that, as one person said, him bad from him born and then to go to prison for life, So it's not the lyrics, and we have had lyrics that have come out of dancehall that are similar. It's not exactly the same. And so many people are not even reading the lyrics because they will tell you very, very proudly, I don't listen to these songs. So it's less about that and more about the fact that dancehall and Vybz Kartel are seen as deviants. And so there is one side of the discussion that is very happy that morality and decency and civility has triumphed, that those are the terms that are being used. And the other side that is unhappy with what they see as a direct, poke at dancehall culture and not a focus on the justice system dealing with a murder trial and getting a verdict that is in favor of the prosecution.
All right, Donna, please stay on the line. We have to take a break on Live at 7. We're back in just a moment. All right, welcome back to Live at 7. On the spot with us in studio, we have Desmond Ninjaman Ballantyne, broadcast Fame at Fame FM. Colin Hinds, who's also a disc jockey. I don't know if they still call him that anymore. And dancehall artist Patrick Gaynor, of course, one half of the duo Twins of Twins. Reminding you can join the discussion on Facebook and on Twitter. If you're on Twitter, use the hashtag Vybz Kartel. And Donna Hope is on phone with us as well. I was suggesting today I don't celebrate any kind of violence. I don't like violence. I don't condone murder, drug use, drug distribution, any kind of criminality at all. And yet I didn't feel on top of the world today. I don't know half of these lyrics. I can't even say that I would want anybody to write these lyrics. I don't know most of his music. I don't know the dude. But something about our society seems to have failed again. Now, whether it's a guy who has the potential to reach the top, and so something to me about our society has failed again. It's
a potential not fully achieving. And like I said earlier on, falling victim to its own dark side. Because it seems he was blessed with so much talent, but there seems to be some sort of counterbalance.
All right.
And I think also, once again, this is a black eye on dancehall.
I suggested
dancehall has punched itself in the eye again.
I suggested it the other night, and one of Donna's colleagues, Taylor, said that, listen, you're making it, you're overblowing it because you probably have a number of lawyers who are equally fragile, or a number of doctors who are equally doing something wrong. But with the greatest respect, you don't have so many of one profession at the top of that profession that are constantly falling foul of the law. Is dance hall having to know, look at itself to say something's not right?
It should.
Either you or Patrick, yeah.
The problem we're not talking, dancehall don't have no problem, It's the artists them have a problem, Dancehall have never get a charge yet.
All right, the artists then. And you have had a charge, one pending. So
Yeah.
you are one of the top guys. Kartel is one of the top guys. Bounty has had his running with the law. Tommy Lee, the performers now who are at this level, and I'm talking about right down the way.
And this is something when me look upon. That's why when me get me mix up in this charge with me have now, I say, boy, life wicked. Because this that is happening now, I see it from about 2005. So there's gonna be an example in the music industry, and it's gonna be one of us. And that's why I try to steer myself clear away from any form of crime and violence. And by accident, me end up with a charge again for something we don't know about. But it's a case pending, so I'm not too matter about that.
Yeah.
And through me is a man of God, and me believe in my God. I mean, when say God will guide me through any storm. You understand? Me not to make that be no problem to me. But when you look back in our life and see this young youth here, even if me get in a position with Kartel they know. Remember, you know, me travel America till them ban me and receive me back again. You know. Me travel Canada till them ban me and receive me back again. Me travel England till them ban me and receive me back again. Me go Europe, me go Switzerland, me go Ireland, me go Austria, me go many Caribbean countries. I've been through more than 5 passports, and even the Court of Justice last one more for me again. And all these passports and these traveling rides, I never play a pain fear. I live all type of all-inclusive life.
Right.
I've been through so many girls that me get to end up with 28 baby mother and 29 kids. So me get to know what stardom have to give. And for this young youth now have such a potential. And for say him lifestyle right there so. And when me I say that, me not go say it because me is not a politician. I'm not a one-sided person. We have to think on both sides. Because we have to think and say, Lizard family, them not go see him again.
Right.
Whether Kartel guilty or him innocent, there's 2 persons now where in the country where have facing grief because the person where the deceased family grieve and Kartel family grieve right now. And it's not, the grievance for Kartel is bigger than for Lizard because at the end of the day, we don't know Lizard potential.
That's the imbalance in our society.
Yeah,
I mean, that's not unusual.
It's not. Let me really say when me comments of say before that 1 hour out. See?
Yes.
Watch me I say Colin. You see the country, things no balance. That are the greatest word that we can find. Things no balance. You see the music, it come out of one culture where them no understand. From the higher echelons. It come out of a culture where them not understand. It evolved from that and we get a nice thing named dancehall. Alright, let me show you one thing now about the country and the unbalanced thing when me I talk about. It's like, me see them a try to attack the music, to say, okay, you know what happened? Them a wait for a moment, them a wait for something to say, alright, this is it. I use it as a poster to say, alright, this is what the music is all about. And these are the people. You saw it rough, you saw it bad, you saw it evil, as if a doctor kill his wife. It make doctor in bad. It doesn't.
Let me just
you get me?
The problem with music and dancehall, them not really fight reggae music, you know. Them fight dancehall music.
But reggae music don't produce lyrics like this.
Yeah, that's what I tell you, because reggae music, it kind of come from a different shade of family.
Reggae would be the gospel and dancehall.
You'd call dancehall people, the outcasts them then, the ghetto bugs them then. The youth them with them never expect so them youth are going to have no other chances or any way to make it in life.
Yeah, but a lot of those, youths are reggae artists.
You must, me in this road, you up on the radio road and the TV road. Me up on the dancehall road and the reggae road. I know the difference of reggae and dancehall. I know the different action of reggae and dancehall. I know the way how reggae artists act and how dancehall artists act. Reggae artists is more like Beverly Hills people them. No care which part him come from, him have that little thing they will say, there's a decency
there's
and
acceptance, there's a road in.
There's a different liberty. We are from the side where them say, them man are bad man, them man are ghetto man, them man are gangster. The problem is that they will easily accept the reggae artist because him not involved in any form of violence. Most of them not been known as nobody who ever involved. Because if you notice, Tarrus Riley have never get a charge. Dennis Brown them get charged, but then still not look like them get no charge. Gregory does not look like him get no charge, but him get charged because the type of way how him live and the type of song them him sing. It takes change away. I can tell you that this morning, you can never shoot a man and never touch a gun yet. But for you say, big gun people, some people dead in the square, people are pinpoint you as a gunman. You understand me? Then, you as a youth that come from out of the ghetto, not have nothing in life, you're not educated like the people that go to university, you don't have no degree, and you end up a buy outside and me and my daughter to come talk to you, we don't need that something there in a society, you know. So that's one I think them where dancehall I get a fight for. Because when Ninja Man bust...
So you are saying it is beyond the content of what dancehall is?
Yeah.
Because, with the greatest respect, Ninja, if I am to hear this and read this, I can't identify with that. I can't identify with...
Yeah, but...
I can't identify with singing about struggle, about love or whatever. I can't identify with saying, I'm going to chop you up and
let me just get one quick point.
It's not my reality.
One quick point. Dancehall has, I think, to a certain extent, been always viewed with a certain measure of apprehension and suspicion by certain elements. And sometimes it draws that suspicion onto itself. It also constantly punch itself in the eye with things like this happening. I am one of those people who believe that a large sector of Jamaica is not very proud of dancehall. We ought to be. Dancehall is as Jamaican as Jamaican as patois. This culture, Simon, we have to figure out a way to spin it on its head where it becomes an asset to the country. Dancehall, I think, is one of the unused tools, one of the untapped tools that could be used to aid and abet the solution of crime and violence.
I hear you, but it seems that there's a reluctance of the artist to see it.
Well, that is what we want to get to.
Donna, you there?
Yes, I am.
I think that's a good point that Colin makes, but a lot of it seems as if certainly Vybz didn't seem to want to talk too much about issues affecting the youth and so on.
He did.
Right, but not in balance.
He did in a lot of songs.
Him do whole heap of conscious songs.
Yeah, no, whole heap is relative. In balance, I'm saying.
But he did a lot, sir.
Eh?
He did a lot, sir.
Uh-huh.
He did a fair.
Let me tell you something, see.
Right, you hold on one second. Come back to Donna.
Come back down to the media again. And with them decide to
One of the things, can I interject a little? One of the things of a lot of the discussions is that we tend to isolate these songs, especially like Vybz Kartel is an artist. I call him a hybrid artist. He was trying to cover the whole dancehall. So he was doing slackness songs. He was Mr. Daggering. He was doing songs about violence. He did songs about poverty. He did songs about weed. He did everything. So it's not, but in this instance, we are only going to hear about the song about Chop the Man and the scammer songs and this. But
Donna, at any stage in career, at any stage in your fabric as an artist, tell me where this fits. Witness disappear, I'm a preference. You can't convict without no evidence. No boy no try to report the bad boy, no written statement, no arraignment. Yo, criminal measure need criminal solution. Buy out the judge, buy out the prosecution. Me own the jury before them introduce one. My money reach faster than Western Union.
And that's a self-fulfilling prophecy you're saying.
I am saying that one is. But in where does it fit as a useful tool, if anything, a useful reference point, anything useful as an artist?
Let me kind of help with that one.
Remember, Simon, that dancehall is made up of different strands of music, and that is a part of the strand, the violent strand, and what some people call the armslow strand of dancehall. That is very much appreciated by the hardcore fans of dancehall. And when you are in the stage show setting, people rave for these things because it's a way that they express certain sentiments about different types of activities that people have to deal with.
Would you make an analogy? I have to go to the break, but would an analogy be going to the movies and seeing either the bad guy or the good guy having his way with his...
Having a big gun.
Having a big gun and...
himself, yes.
Is that the same kind of...
That's a kind of analogy.
All right.
And it's a very cathartic thing, and people act it out in this setting and then move on, a lot of that. So it's that kind of discussion that in many instances people use these references for. But in this instance, as we are discussing the Kartel murder trial, it seems to have become what many people now say is a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Indeed.
So, And the point you are making before we run to the break, that dancehall has been held up in a particular way, and people are now realizing that you can step into a sticky mess because the society is at a different stage. We probably need to re-examine what dancehall is doing and put something else into the mix. And so dancehall has to start seeing itself not as individuals but as a cohesive industry, so people can pull together in a different way. It's very critical at this juncture. This is a call to action.
Donna, I have to take a break. I'll come right back to you, Patrick, when we come back from the break. All right, welcome back to Live at 7. So we've kind of morphed from a reaction to the Vybz Kartel case to definition of dancehall, and I suspect Patrick is going to talk about exonerating dancehall in the role or from the role that a lot of people think that it has.
Hear what me I go say,
you were saying before the break.
Hear what me I go say, and we need to stop pretending say it not exists. This classism have a system in place to keep one set of people down and elevate the next set of people, the next 20%, right? Elevate just themselves. When you make life and set a system so hard, life so hard that it hard and death, people will psychologically, subliminally choose death, You realize a lot of people act out a certain kind of thing. Nobody no asks what's wrong with the gunman. They don't get psychologically evaluated, Nobody cares as a youth with a gun in him and his brain is not in check. Nobody no asks what do him. Nobody no want to know him life, where him a go through. Nobody asks no type of question, You understand? We live in one country. Let me show you how it deep. We live in one country where 75% of the populace, when they address the nation, them big long word where they use, for the first 2 minutes they lose the people. Then how do you involve every single people when you address a nation? That means that you address like 20%. You address who know how you talk and who understand you. Look what happened to Vybz Kartel already. Everybody, one bag of people have said this and have said that. Gas raise how long now? Flour no good. The tax in the country, dollar they are 109. Me no see no road a block. Me no see nobody a demonstrate. And what? These people have been deliberately made that way for somebody financial gain. You understand what we are dealing with? And the music come out of suffering. When people go through things like that, them hurt, them angry, and the anger go show. We are from society as artists that sing music. We are going to sing it. We are going to sing how we feel for those who left behind and them will relate to it. And whether or not it's right or it's wrong. Because a lot of time them bypass right and wrong just a whole of vibes, Because the culture where we come from a whole lot of time, them just don't understand certain things. You understand how we are dealing? And them have a lack of knowledge.
All right, I hear you,
argument,
but I know there's going to be a counter-argument. Say, yeah.
So what?
All right, I understand your disenfranchisement. I understand that there's probably more than two classes in this country because there's that one and then there's that one and there's a subclass. But why then does that result in you singing, for instance, if I take Ramping Shop, or why does it result in you singing, say, you want to kill the man next door, or this guy for dead? Why does it always manifest itself in that?
If you are in this culture, when you grow up, if a puss raise a dog, if a puss raise a dog, it also meow, Your culture, where your band come see and have as right, not saying it is right. People that will relate to all of them, them can't hit if people can't relate to them, Because this is what a hit is all about. The mindset of the people. If you align yourself with where people are going to accept, then you have a hit.
But a lot of people who support your music, his music, Vybz music don't have that experience. People who enjoy dancehall, if I look at when I see dancehall, people enjoying dancehall, a lot of them come from privileged backgrounds.
But a whole heap of time is just a fantasy type of thing. It's all about an ego and a whole of vibes and me a thug. And him not sing it said, definitely I'm going to ring shot in a boy head and ray, but it make him feel like a thug. It's an ego type of thing.
I need to get to this other argument.
And then you have a man with a killer, and it different for him. It's a different reality for
Why
him.
didn't Vybz' reality change, given all of his success, all of his talent, all of his attributes? Why didn't Vybz take himself out of this situation?
The answer to that lies strictly with Vybz Kartel.
I like you. I just can't tell you what Kartel.
No, but he's not alone. That was my whole point about the issue in dancehall, including the cream of the crop, despite the wherewithal, despite the wealth, despite the celebrity.
There are way too many artists who have come from impoverished means, who have accessed some sort of financial and social standing through this music, who have made better for themselves and who never went that road. This has something to do with the artist himself in question, how he's made up, and the person himself.
Did any of you recognize this before?
It's not
Did
typical.
any of you consider that this is where he was going to go?
Well, I'll tell you something. I never recognized that any individual have this road to tread. I just recognize it that one of us, if we don't make a step towards moving in the right direction, one of us was going to be used as an example. And I've been watching it from Sting, come right on, and all the controversy we are going in our music and the fight between this Kartel and Ninja Man issue, Kartel and Mavado issue, and all Popcorn and all these man, all who get involved in all these things and say the things that were happen during the music surroundings. I look into myself and I say, you see right now, government, them won't take a stand, and they're going to use somebody for example.
Patrick, did you see this coming at all? The case itself, the elements of the case?
Just like when Ninja Man say, we not see a person in particular, but we know the pressure we have face from society. And we know that they're going to use somebody as an example.
No. You didn't see it?
No,
I didn't see it in relation to Vybz himself.
No,
because you got what I'm really asking.
I can't agree with this conspiracy.
No, you make a say, no, me not see.
I'm asking because you guys are in the music business.
No,
you see the music. You see
that means that you don't ask every day and yard when Billy Walters or whatever the case may be. We never did it. We know our artists that are bad, the big bad artists that are Kartel. That's all we know.
Kartel is a DJ.
He's a DJ, that's it. We don't know nothing else.
Right, so therefore, this case, it can't be like there was a plot being hatched against dancehall. This is an isolated case.
It's
an artist and a citizen who happens to be a dancehall artist ran afoul of the law. And this is what happened. I don't think there was a plot to discipline dancehall. I don't think this is a case against the entire industry.
No, but here's what. I have 1 minute, and I want to give Donna the last word or two. We were discussing this yesterday. I had Sonia Stanley Naya on, and part of the question was, is this going to have any impact on dancehall? Is it going to change anything about dancehall? And her point was, what are you talking about? There are always moments in dancehall that move it one way or the other, or keep it going. And I want to ask Donna, from your point of view, is there anything that is likely to change as a result of? You see, I think we use the word icon a little too much too. But anyway, let me go with icon of the business going down.
You know, Simon, that is going to depend on the people in the industry because it is one thing for us to say that, you know, we are all, those of us who are researching the music industry, researching dancehall, you know, in analyzing dancehall, know that the issue, the class issue and that kind of issue is a part of a challenge that dancehall is facing and will face. But at the same time, artists and individuals in dancehall still have a responsibility to ensure that the industry is protected because it is somewhere that they go to earn a living and to build themselves up out of poverty and to provide an avenue, a real avenue for youths and youths from the garrison and from the ghetto to find a way out of poverty. So it has to be seen in a very important way as a critical part of the lives of people from the inner city and from elsewhere in Jamaica. And so it has to be now managed and protected in a real way. This hustle economy idea where you just drop in it and if you buck your foot, you're over there. So, and that one over there. So has to come. I believe that something should come out of it. And that people who are directly involved in the industry, people who are eating food off of the industry, must have a sit down and put aside some of the differences and the divisions so that something can come out of it. Because regardless of what he may or may not have done,
Donna, sorry,
he's a lyrical genius.
I have to cut you because we have to get out of here. Of course, Newswatch is coming up. I want to thank everybody for being with us. Ninja Man, while we were asking the question, no one man can done dancehall. I guess that's where we'll leave it today. Thanks for watching. Join us for Live at 7 Rewind on Sunday. Have a great weekend.